Hi folks, it's Chet from Tag Along with Chet. Well, as you can see, I'm driving my car, and what you saw before was the way to the airport from my place. It takes about a minute and a half for me to drive to my hangar, so you can tell I'm pretty close to the airport. Anyway, I'm actually on the way to Claresholm. And that's by road, it's about 85-90 kilometers from my place, and that's where I get my maintenance done. And as you probably saw in the previous video or vlog, it's in for an annual. And of course, yesterday I got that dreaded phone call from the mechanics indicating that it wasn't a normal annual. Looks like I've got some additional little problems, which I kind of noticed. I think I don't know if it was about a week or about a month ago, I guess it was. And I noticed one of my on the Electronics International engine monitor that I've got, or analyzer, or whatever they call that thing. That one of my cylinders was starting to give me a little bit of a erratic reading. Like everything else was reading reasonably fine, and all of a sudden one of the cylinders was reading a very low exhaust gas temperature as well as a low cylinder head temperature, which I'd never seen before. Like normally they're up in the well in the 300s, 340, something like 350, somewhere in that area. And this was on takeoff actually, where you're using max power. And geez, I noticed it was like 296, which I'd never seen before, and the exhaust gas temperature was also low. So once I got in cruise and everything was, you know, basically set for a cruise RPM, it went back up to normal. Like it went back up to 345, and all of them seemed to be reasonably well. Except one of them, which of course is the new cylinder I had put on last year with a new piston as well. And I never really thought much of it, but I did mention it to the maintenance people. And when they did the annual on it, and they did the compression test on it, one of the cylinders was really, that particular cylinder was really low. Like it was like 52. So it turns out that cylinder and all the goodies and whatnot, I'm not quite sure about the cylinder, but a lot of the goodies have been sent to a place in the interior of BC where the maintenance work is done on the engine, and we'll see what it comes back with. But in any case, it's not going to be a normal yearly annual, you know, for a couple $1,000. It's going to be a little bit more than that. So another one of those years, but hey, you want to fly, it's going to cost you money. Anyway, hopefully this is the last one. I think I'm doing cylinder by cylinder here. But we'll look at it a little bit more in detail. I'm heading there now, and we're just going to have a chat with the maintenance guys. It's lunch run today anyway, so normally I'd fly down there, but I guess today I'll just drive down. I don't have much choice. So we'll get some more details once we get there. In the meantime, yeah, can't say enjoy the flight, but enjoy the drive. Looks good now. As you can see, temperature right now is about what is it, +2 centigrade. So it's just over 2 degrees, about 4 or 5 degrees above freezing Fahrenheit. And we did have a little bit of snow here the other day. I guess it was yesterday. Of course, that's all gone now, and we're expecting more by late tomorrow. I guess there's some Pacific disturbance that's going through the interior of British Columbia and moving this way. So we'll probably get a little bit more snow tomorrow, or by the weekend anyway. And then week after that, it's supposed to be sunny again, so hopefully things will be back to normal then. Anyway, we'll talk to you once we get to the get to the Claresholm airport. We're just coming into Claresholm now, folks. Another kilometer and we'll be in town. And then it's another 4 or 5 kilometers outside of town to the airport. So for those of you who don't know where Claresholm is, it's a small town in the southwest part, sort of nestled between, say, Fort McLeod and Calgary. And there's a few towns in between, like High River and Nanton. Now, one time I was actually interested in retiring down in Claresholm, but I find it's much like Lethbridge. They get a lot of Chinook winds down here, so the winds are usually from the southwest here, and they can get quite strong, especially in the winter when they do have a Chinook. Of course, the Chinook brings in the nice warm air as well, so it's the sort of a, what do you want? You want warm weather in the summer, or rather in the winter, or what? You know, but you got to take the wind that goes along with it. Now, this little motel on the right side out here, the Bluebird, it was up for sale many years ago, and I actually had thoughts about putting some money into it and maybe buying it, but lawyer buddy of mine decided that it wasn't such a good idea, so we never did it. So this is Claresholm. This is the highway that actually passes through Claresholm. And that was one of the reasons why I stayed away from that hotel, is there was talk at that time of putting in a bypass. Now, that was probably 20 years ago when I was looking at that, so and it's never happened yet, so I don't know. It's the one and only stoplight, signal light in Claresholm. And just up here we'll make a right-hand turn to head for the airport, which is on the southwest side of town. Nice Harvard parked in the on a stand out there in the one of the parks of Claresholm. I remember when that was being put together, actually, in one of the hangars in Claresholm Airport. So there we are. There's the foothills. And actually, if you look in the distance out there, you'll actually notice we have snow on the foothills there. Mountains are the next row over there. These are strictly the foothills here. So we click along here for about another 4 kilometers, and we'll get into Claresholm Airport, which is actually an old World War II Air Force base. Still even have some of the hangars. from World War II. Okay, we're just coming up into the airports on our left-hand side out here, and the entrance to the maintenance hangar is just coming up here. See, they got my airplane parked outside now because they're awaiting parts. Well, we had the left-hand tank, took that out. Well, here it sits, folks, outside all by itself. Well, folks, on my way back, we had lunch. Had a good lunch. Boy, that was good stuff. Anyway, a little update on the airplane. Like I mentioned earlier, the cylinder was sent in complete with everything else, just to do a lot of testing on it, make sure the cylinder was still okay. And anyway, I guess we'll find out about that once it gets there. It's just been shipped there the other day, so it'll probably be Monday or Tuesday before I hear as to what's cooking with the cylinder and how many pieces of the puzzle have to be put back together with new equipment or new parts. But you probably noticed I took a bit of a video on the wing as well. The left-hand wing tank, I had them remove that. It needs to be removed after a while anyway. There's all old parts in it, probably since day one for all I know. But the tubing in there has to be replaced, and so that was all redone. And the fuel sender requires a part which is on back order. It seems everything is on back order with aircraft spruce these days. Also, new bolts are required, or new screws are required for the fuel tank, and you need about 60 of them, and I think the maintenance shop only had about 40 or 50 of them, so those screws are on back order. So they won't be in now. That's in the Ontario there where we get them from. It won't be in until sometime beginning of this week, and then of course it has to come from there over to here. And so anyway, bottom line is we're just waiting for parts right now. Hopefully in about a week or so I'll be able to bring the airplane back home, and then it'll be good for another year. Also needed another fire extinguisher. My fire extinguisher, I guess, is I don't know, I think I'm getting a halon one put in there, or some type of a approved halon one, or whatever they use these days. And that's about it. So thanks again for watching, folks. Thanks for coming along, and yeah, we'll see how things go.